Hey guys, welcome back to Etheria Restart. In today's video, we have an updated tier list from Pridewin with an absolute ton of changes on it, including the addition of the new units Hoyan and Holden. So I want to go ahead and take a look at this list and have a bit of a chat about it. There was a massive amount of changelog. As you can see, there's the two new characters and then all these changes down to here to look at. Now, I'm going to have those on a side screen, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at the lists and then go through the changelog and the reasons for the shifting, because like I said, there has been a lot of shifts in characters across the board. But before we do that, I do want to go to the table view and take a look at the two new characters themselves first of all. So if we go first of all to Holden, who is here, you can see Holden getting a tier 0 over in general PvE. I don't know why that tab doesn't stay there for me. Actually, you know what we can do? We can just go back over to here and find Holden, and then we can just go from there. So Holden is, my man, is right here. So here we go. So for Aurora, he gets a 0.5. He's got that strip on his skill 3, which is great for Aurora. When she has that immunity buff, you just strip that and away you go. He's also got the res down, the attack down, which is great. He's got gauge reduction, which even though it's reduced on Aurora, is still a fantastic thing to have. And then he's also got that basic attack, which is going to have the death break plus multi-hitter, which is really nice. And then on top of that, you got the revenge. So revenge plus multi-hitter equals just more reliable hits into Aurora as well. So that is him there. DokiDoki tier 4, he's red. He's not going to do anything there. Terrormaton, very similar. He is red, which is strong against Terrormaton, even better. He's there for the strip as well. Also the turn gauge manipulation. Basically all the reasons we mentioned over in Aurora. Generic PvE. In generic PvE, I find bruises are just all round solid. So that's why he is sitting up there at tier 0 in generic PvE. It's not the most important scenario to look at. Then we go to Union Boss and Phantom Theater. Tier 1. Just not that it's the raw damage output to make him the absolute beast in those modes. Still solid, but when you look to something like Rahu kind of has that more damage, and he also has the defense buff, which is more support for his teammates. Whereas what Holden brings, which is the attack break, is nice in some situations as well, and the res down, obviously. But you're not going to get the effectiveness out of the skill 2 for him. And then the Death Shred, you're normally bringing a dedicated Death Shred for those things, so not going to be as important. And then PvP, tier 0. The dude is actually really, really nice in PvP. I find he is skill up hungry. I am using mine at 6-star in PvP and loving him without skill ups, but you know, he's one of those ones that gets a lot better with those skill ups as you go. Now, the next one is going to be Hoyan, who is down here in tier 2. You can see she's not getting as much love. Aurora, obviously, she's off element. She's going to be bad. DokiDoki, just not enough burst damage to actually kill them and reliably do it. It's not like Remoka where you kill one, you cleave. The thing with Hoyan is to make her really good in PvE, it has to be long fights, and then she has to get to her max stacks, which is hard to reliably do without her dying and then having to res her and then regain all the stacks again. And that's basically her issue in PvE overall, is that it's too hard to reliably get her to her max damage potential, which is massive, but you just can't get there reliably, and that's the big issue. So DokiDoki and Terrormaton, you know, tier 1, tier 2, general PvE, tier 2. I think for general stuff, she can be really good. Union Boss and Phantom Theater, I'm curious to see if she goes up from there, because like I said, if there is a strat that you can do to really try and make her get her stacks, then she is a monster in those. But once again, it's trying to get her stacks that is the issue. And then tier 0.5 in PvP. Now, her problem in PvP, why I think they didn't put her tier 0, is going to be that she has too many big counters with Messiah, especially because he ignores the passive. Born, same reason, but Born is off element, so not as much issue. Heinrich with the block buff, who is just a standard counter pick to a lot of teams anyway. So those are the issues. You will definitely fight Hoyans and get absolutely slaughtered by them and think she is giga OP broken if you don't bring the right counter to her. So if you don't have the counter, she is like beyond tier 0. If you do have the counter, she's kind of just like, okay, let's just shut her down. So that is her issue, but I think she's definitely a fun PvP character and one to look at. So that is those two characters in general. Now, when we go into the change notes, I'm not going to read through general PvE because I just don't think general PvE is like, you know what I mean? You're just going to grind through general PvE anyway. So I'm just going to skip that one and we're going to jump over into Aurora first of all. Now, Didding was the first one to get a major move up. He's just the best single target damage dealer in the game at the moment, pretty much for a lot of situations. He's just got such high burst. Now, he's up there with Rosa because Rosa obviously has the extra multi-hits, which are huge in Aurora. She also has a bit of gauge manipulation, even though that's pretty well nerfed. It's still something to have. She has the crit rate. You know, she's just got a lot of benefit for the team as well, the speed slows. So she's just overall on element as well. I would prefer having Rosa for it than Didding, but Didding is like, you know, that universal DPS option everywhere as an absolute beast. Jada went from tier 1 to tier 0.5. You know, my plan was always to use Jada over there, use Jada in Doki, and then move straight into Aurora. Now, a lot of these things and a lot of the strategies that you'll see, I'll read what they actually wrote. Despite being an AoE-focused character, her damage output on single target is still really good, since she can abuse Revelation really well. For those that don't know, Revelation is that shell that gives you extra true damage when you crit, and it procs once every 3 turns. And because Jada is always using, when she's max flamed, 4 hits on her skill 3, that's 4 hits of 12% max HP. Now, it is capped at 160% of your attack, but it's still a really, really strong effect to have. You do need to crit to proc it as well, so it's all those situations, but she uses it so well, and so she's also going up in DokiDoki and in Aurora, and that was my whole idea for wanting Jada on launch. Unfortunately, I just can't build mine well because I don't have Terrormaton gear, so that is my biggest issue with Jada, but once again, she is going to be solid in here. Just note, if you are pairing her up with Lily, it does give you another way to strip on the Aurora boss as well, strip those immunities, so not a bad little combo that you can use there. With the Jada. Now, moving on past here, her is an interesting one, which is Sybil. Now, this is that chick that you start the game with and no one really thinks too much, but once again, she has multi-hitters, which is good for Aurora, also good for proccing the Revelation. So she has gone up for that same reason from tier 5 all the way to tier 1, because some of these weird units getting some sort of viability. Would I go building her for this? No, if she was tier 0, maybe you'd consider it, but I don't think she's really one that I'd rush out to build, but still a solid option. And then the next one over on the list is gonna be, if I can find the man, where did he go from tier 0.5 to tier 1? Yeah, he's gonna be Viper. So Viper getting dropped down. Basically, he's just not as strong as they're finding Holden to be over there. I'll give you their complete write-up. With the release of Holden, who fills the same role and offers more than Viper, we've dropped him down half a tier. Basically, when you get replaced, you go down, is essentially what they're saying there. And then we have another big mover, Yang. Yang offers a nice combination of great buffs. He does have the crit rate buff and the attack buff. Turn meter pushback, which is on his skill 3, and also a dispel on his skill 3. The thing is, he does use his skill 2 with the buff first and then the skill 3. Everything you want on Aurora, even if he has the new passive, even if she has the new passive that reduces the effectiveness of pushback on the other 2 things that make up for it. Yeah, so really good. I thought he was pushback. I thought he was push up. On critical hit, Yang increases 25% turn meter. And this one, 3 times, deals a total of 6 hits. With Yang Lancer critical hit, increases all allies' turn meter by 10%. Yeah, so there's no... I think there was a typo there, because, yeah, he doesn't reduce turn meter. He's all about boosting turn meter. So, you know, he's really, honestly, quite solid for that fight. So that's it for the Aurora changes. Now we jump over into the DokiDoki changes. Jada, let's just give you the summary here on what they say about Jada going from tier 1 to... No, from tier... They said to tier 0.5, but she's gone up to tier 0. All right, the notes are wrong, but that's okay. With the increase to enemies' HP, Revelation became even better. In Inferno, Jada can actually outperform Rumoka if you use it. Because of that, we're raising her to tier 0 as she is the best alternative to Rumoka. Now, the reason, like I said, she's doing so well compared to Rumoka is because Rumoka's just not having the damage to one-shot the waves. And that's the biggest issue that you're having with Rumoka, is that the enemies are just too tanky in Inferno. And that's what a lot of people are finding, which a lot of us will find there once we get there as well. Rosa going up as well from tier 1 to tier 0.5. Another Revelation abuser that became better with the release changes to the monster HP. So, you know, true damage could be nice. Pretty much sums it up. Revelation is becoming an absolute monster of a thing. Unfortunately, on my account, I need to build my Didding because I can't even farm Revelation yet. That's how scuffed I am. Is what it is. When you build bruisers in a burst meta, you kind of suffer. All right, the next one is Sanya. Shadow Sanya going down over here. I guess the dot team just not being as well performed as they expected. We tried to make Shadow Sanya work with DokiDoki, but with the nerfs to O-Ball, his AoE dot application got reduced by a lot. Sanya lacks a good AoE partner to dot teams. Pretty much it. Cool beans. Next one we have Heinrich, Kraken, Lilith, and Marvel going down from 0.5 to 0.1. I'm gonna make a hot take. This is my hot take. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kraken go back up again. I feel like Halloween Time Weave Kraken might be a play because when the bosses are not just chunky, but they also hit so damn hard. In beta, I found Kraken better for me in Inferno than Kaz. Now, stated, Inferno's got a lot harder, but I don't know if that hard CC of a freeze is going to be better than the sleep, even though it's on a 1 turn higher cooldown. And if you're targeting the boss, you can land a potential 2 turn freeze on him with the skill too. I don't know. I'm going to experiment with it. But yeah, these guys dropping down. Basically, everyone here lost a bit of value as a debuffer slash CC to Mio's release, since she can not only provide CC, but also push back enemies and buff the team at the same time. I mean, if the reasoning of these guys going down is just that Mio's better, well, yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, that's cool. But I think Kraken could see a bit more love in the future. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. And then Sanya Valerian going from tier 0.5 to tier 0. Over here in the sustain category. Once you hit Inferno, you will need shields to protect your team. Healers are punished there by the HP lock effect added to enemies. This puts Valerian as a must-use sustain there. As for Sanya, before Inferno, her and Linglo just make your team safe, so we decided to put them all in tier 0. I think that's pretty fair. I think you guys will see eventually... Bro. Where's my girl at? Where's T-Mat at? Oh, there she is. T-Mat has shields. Devs, if you're listening, can we please make T-Mat use her skill 2 as a priority on auto? It makes her so much more valuable for DokiDoki when instead of committing suicide with her first attack, she puts a shield on that protects damage and protects you from the max HP decreasing. It's such a big difference. I just really want her to use her skill 2. I've been beating this thing like a dead horse, but I'm going to keep doing it. She needs to do skill 2 first. Please, please, just please, for the love of God, make my girl good again. Just her AI. Anyway, I'm going to stop that. Let's go to Terrormaton. Chloros going from tier 0.5 to tier 0. If you don't abuse Shadow Sanya against the boss, Chloros paired with Didding is your best alternative. The pair is just too good together and can kill the annoying boss super fast, both on auto and manual. So there you go. Chloros stocks up, not just an end game bossing. Well, I guess it's end game bossing, but not like the Phantom Theater Union boss. He is demolishing the Terrormaton, once again paired with the Didding for that massive damage that they can put out. Lian dropped from 0.5 to 1. So Lian dropping down over here. Terrormaton requires you to kill the left head ASAP, and due to Lian's randomness in her skill 2, most of the fireballs can hit the other targets, which will lead to a wipe. Pretty much that. Like I said, the game is just forcing you to speed clear bosses or not at all. It just feels like the way the game is designed. Heinrich going from tier 0 to tier 0.5. Basically, Holden exists as a better stripper now, so Heinrich goes down. Look at that. Heinrich stock's going down already. He's still fantastic. As long as Lily stays S tier, top tier and everything, I'm okay. I can live. We can keep re-rolling for it, guys. Gray going from tier 0.5 to tier 1. He can still be used up to hell with ease, but in Inferno it's simply too hard to fit him in to the team now, as you'll need a dispeller. Because of that, we're dropping him slightly. Cool beans. All right, Union Boss and Phantom Theater, this tier list here. Is Mia going up from tier 1 to 0.5 and Valerian from tier 1 to 0.5. That's the only changes in our sustain units. They are both fantastic sustain units. Mia does give you extra amplification based on buffs, I believe it is. Valerian's just great. She not only has protection, she also has the attack buffs and stuff like that, all the different random buffs she brings. So yeah, I'm not going to spend too long on that one if those are the only changes. PvP, here's the new ones. So Born is the first one to go up. Basically, he is a chunky as hell attacker with self-sustain, which makes him a monster, and his use of Dispel makes him massive. Like I said, he's also got that the ability to wipe through the passive of the Hoyan, which makes him strong. So he is just turning out to be him, and especially him and Messiah, like two absolute top picks in your PvP teams when you go into the RTA. Moving on from that, we have Rin the Unbowed. So she has gone from tier 1 to tier 0.5. She is speed-based damage. Speed-based damage is always a really nice thing because you get to build super damn fast, but also get damage amplification on top of that. So she has all of her skills. The faster she is, the more damage she does. I think it's like her skill 1. It just does straight up more damage if you're faster than them. I can't remember the exact wording of it, but her skill 3 is an AoE, which gives her a self-speed buff as well. She has a speed slow on her skill 2, which is a single target nuke, and she can just absolutely monster things. And like I said, the fact that she is fast and deals good damage, which is amplified by that speed, it just rewards speed play, which is fantastic. Moving on from that, we have Kaz the Reverie. Now, if you guys have been watching me yap lately, I've been getting hard carried. I got to Diamond carried by Kaz in Arena. She is an absolute beast for it because you got a 3-turn cooldown with that CC. I run mine on Gigabyte with Time Weave. So often every second turn, she's going to be doing that AoE sleep, which if you happen to land a Lily with her, you can like basically just lock out the entire team for the entire time. You just got to pick which target you want to wake up to attack. It's a bit awkward, not as easy as a hard CC on something like a Mio or something like that, but still, she is absolutely monstrous for it. I think she's absolutely fantastic. So that is the Kaz going up. Once again, loving using it. Not to mention the fact that she also brings the attack down and also the gauge pushback as well when she's attacking them. So pretty fantastic in general. And I've been loving her. Valerian going up to tier 0. Basically, Valerian is just so damn cheese because you can run any booster. Like you can run a Lily who doesn't have attack buff. Use Lily to boost your Messiah. Then Messiah takes his turn, and because the ordering of the buffs Valerian gives, he gets a shield, but he also gets attack buff. So now you've just Lilied into an attack buff Messiah who ignores 70% defense, and he just one-shots entire teams. It's kind of disgusting. So Valerian enables that kind of bullshit, which is just nuts. I wish I had a Messiah. I'm sad. I might cry. Moving on. Let's go into the next one, which is Hellkid and Tiamat. Dude, the disrespect to my girl Tiamat in this tier list is just doing my head in. And something needs to be done about it. So, Speed and Cleave are still king in the current meta, and Bruisers aren't having a good time. Sure, Bulwark is now farmable, but Revelation is a big issue, and their performance... add a hit to their performance. So for now, we're dropping them from tier 0 and we'll observe how the meta shifts. Yep. Tiamat, stock's down. I'm sad. I'm still using her. I still love it. It's still fun. But yeah, still both great characters being in tier 0.5. But yeah, Revelation's an issue in the game at the moment. So that's the next thing we're going to have to deal with. And there's going to be nerfs and shit's going to hit the fan. And woo, I'm loving it. All right. Revelation, it's cracked. If you haven't seen what Freya can do on Revelation, she just chunks out like 60% of the whole team's HP because she's on Revelation. It's... oh, that's a video for another time. All right, let's get into Ramoka. Ramoka dropping from tier 0 to 0.5. Sorry, tier 0.5 to tier 1. My bad. Ramoka is hard countered by Valerian, who is one of the most popular picks in... yeah, I mean... That pretty much sums it up. You can still kill someone through Valerian with like a White Fang proc after, but the problem is with Ramoka, that doesn't count towards her then nuking the whole entire other team. So that's her biggest issue is Valerian is everywhere, which I don't have her, and it shuts her down. Moving on from that, Fangus from tier 2 up to tier 1. This is crit Fangus, not dot Fangus, so you're building him for his damage on his follow-ups, basically. His damage is pretty scary when you build him like a normal DPS, and his constant follow-up attacks are really hard to deal with at times. So that is him. Didding dropping from tier 1 to tier 2. Similar to Ramoka, Didding relies on one-shotting the target, but Valerian simply prevents him from doing it, and she allows the entire team to recover. I don't think that's true. Because Didding with his skill 3 procs, I'm 90% sure on this. His skill 3 procs. And then she will come out of her sitting state, and then the extra turn with his basic will kill them. And if that doesn't kill them, then normally he's got a White Fang, which will kill them. So I don't think Deeding does get shut down by Valerian. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I still think he's wicked, and I'm going to build him and use him in PvP because I just need him for PvE. But yeah, I'm not too sure. And then the last one is Sybil going from tier 5 to tier 3, but hey, we're not going to dwell on that and talk too much about that. But that is it for the changes in the tier list. Once again, let me know what you guys think. I think, and I've passed this feedback on to the team, there's way too much dislove for my girl Terrormaton, which just needs to be corrected. Obviously, jokes, guys. I'm still going to use her everywhere. I can't help it. She makes the game fun for me. And that is the tier list. Let me know any thoughts you guys have. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.